Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's your host, Cristo from Stud City, and today we are going to be doing a full Lego room tour slash basement update. And if you couldn't tell, we were having a party Friday night. We worked from probably around 6 p.m. all the way to around 4 a.m. Of course, people came and gone, but we got so much work done. And you can take a look there. We opened up the electrical panel and finally starting to run some electric in our new basement, which is, I would say, pretty exciting. There is my friend and his dad, which huge thank you for coming out and supporting and helping. Could not have done this without you guys. And yeah, we have finally made, I feel like, a huge breakthrough as far as framing and of course moving into electric. Now, there's been some challenges and we'll talk about that in today's video, but for the most part, I would say with help, this has been extremely fun. Here's a little fun video of my girl Stella hanging out in the Lego room. I locked her in the door, but she could just walk in between the studs. And I don't think she understood that. I think she got mad. I closed the door on her and she couldn't figure out how to come around. But anyways, with that being said, I even put doors down in the basement. None of them are locked or anything like that, but pretty seamless process. I guess I didn't think about this, but eventually I'll have to move all of this Lego out here into the main room. That is a lot of Lego. And unfortunately, as you can see here, it's gotten a little dusty. And I know I've read a million suggestions of saying, Cristo, you should run all your Lego upstairs. But my gosh, guys, you have no idea. That would take probably an entire day to run all of this Lego upstairs, and I would probably be exhausted. So for me, I just said it wasn't worth it. So I left it down there, and I'm going to regret it later on down the road, but we'll make it work. And then over here, you can see some of the can lights that we had ran and put in the main aisleway, which is cool and exciting. And you'll see some of the cans that the lighting that I'm going to decide to use in this room, which is also going to really brighten up the space. I would say there's only like a few light bulbs down here and the space is pretty well lit, which gives me high hopes for having a really cool place to take awesome shots of like our Lego city, our Lego mocks, and of course recording videos for this YouTube channels. Little early morning friggin' delivery. Let's go, guys. Drywall's in. Time to start bringing it downstairs, which is gonna be a nightmare. Yay. But anyways, looking good. Got some more. He's delivering more. I've also gotten a few questions asking what some of the biggest challenges around the basement. And I'm going to be honest, guys, some of the biggest challenges was not like putting up the walls or anything like that. Honestly, that was probably one of the easier parts. A lot of the challenges came from doing stuff like this, like boxing out like the furnace, all your ductwork from your furnace. That was a real challenge. Even like as simple as a column. I mean, gosh, it was just a lot of planning that kind of went into stuff like this and stuff you just don't account for, or, nothing always being perfect, right? When you're cutting a board and it ends up being like a 1/4 inch short and you run the, entire wall that, and it's like, okay, well, that's going to be a problem with drywall later down the run. Like, those are some of the biggest challenges I've had. And then, of course, working around some of the dreaded plumber's work, like, for example, all those plumbing lines up there. So instead of running flush against the wall, basically what I did is ran like 4 foot up and then came across to hide from those pipes because I didn't want to move a bunch of pipes in my basement. It would not be worth it to do all of that work. So instead, what I did was kind of go around that and then ran up to your ceiling. And some of it, by all means, it's not the greatest of work, but truthfully, for what we've done, I think it's been incredible, and everything's pretty sturdy and sound and pretty much well-rounded and ready for drywall. So I'm sure we'll have challenges with drywall. That'll probably be one of the most challenging things, but we'll figure it out. And then here you could see more headers for more like ladder build-outs is what they call them, I guess, around your duct work. So that's truthfully the biggest challenge, I feel. As far as electrical and lighting, truthfully, the planning around it, spacing out all the cans, the can lights, running the wire isn't too bad. What's really been the challenge is just kind of planning it, oh, want this light switch to turn on this half of the room. Okay, well, we have existing lighting already. How do we split that up? Just thoughts and kind of considerations around that. So those are the biggest challenges, but overall, it's been a pretty smooth and seamless process. We are officially 100% done framing our basement. And that is pretty exciting because we're on to the big next stages of completing this for our Lego collection. And I've done walkthroughs in the past, but it's nice to kind of give a full update on where we are, and really good to kind of take a step back and just look at some of the progress. It's not easy work by all means, but it is accomplishable. And I would say I've basically never done this in my life. And if I'm able to do it, I encourage you, anybody can be able to do something like this, because it truthfully is something to easily learn and you can kind of do it. So hopefully this is your motivation. If you're kind of debating, you can do it, I promise you. But that kicks us off to the next stage, and that would most likely be finishing off our doors. I think I have one door left to buy, and then we already started electrical, as I previously mentioned, but we have the can lights ran basically almost entirely in this room. I think they're all wired, and then the only thing left to do is probably hang, I think, 3 or 4 outlets I'm going to put on the ceiling personally, just because I want them for a future video. You'll see later on, don't you worry. And then, of course, on the opposite side over here, those have no cans just yet. I'll have to go ahead and, with some help, of course, hang those and run electric to all those lighting. So there will also be 4 can lights in that room, and then 2 over here in like the main entrance where the staircase is. So pretty cool stuff, pretty simple. And then the only thing left on electrical other than that is run all our outlets on the floor, which probably is going to be quite a few, probably like 30 or something like that across this entire basement. I don't know. I guess I didn't do a whole number count. I don't know. That's 30 sounds reasonable. I don't know. 30 sounds pretty much seems reasonable. But anyways, that's going to be that. And then we'll insulate it really quick. Shouldn't take long at all for that. And then finally, drywall, which is already here. It's not down here yet, but it's here and it needs to be moved downstairs. And Cristo can't do that by himself. So a couple things to take note of really quick, guys, is one, how loud the furnace is down here if we just take a gander. I'm gonna be doing all the insulation in here and trying to soundproof this, and I think I'm gonna do a pretty decent job to essentially make it where when we're live streaming and stuff, you won't really hear it as much. So I think that's gonna be a huge upgrade, because I know in past live streams, it's been pretty loud since we've moved down here and whatnot. I know it's only been 2 months, so it's not been a ton of streams, but something to consider. So I'm gonna be insulating that and trying to soundproof this as best I can. Same thing with the ceiling, as well as all of the floors. Should help quite a bit. Now, the other thing is, check this out. Our lights just came in, and yeah, here's Cristo geeking out to some lights. Pretty exciting stuff. But these are just going to plug in to the can lights that we just went ahead and installed. So this is what it's currently looking like. And I kind of want to set up the camera really quick and do a difference of, that's just a light bulb in there just to kind of test them. It looks pretty bright, but these bad boys should really do the job. So I'm gonna go ahead, get on a ladder. Always record when you're on a ladder, ladies and gentlemen, just in case anything crazy happens. And hopefully we can see the difference in lighting. So I went ahead with these 5000 kV lights that simply plug in with this like little chip piece, and they plug into like a light bulb end, which can directly place into your can lights. And then the actual halo light is kind of like a recessed light, and it goes pretty cool, and we'll just clip into the drywall when eventually we do drywall. Here's me pretending to be shocked. Yep, probably scared you guys, but you know me, I'm a jokester, had to do it for you guys. And I'm just simply screwing it in because the electrical is already ran to the can lights. It's literally so bright. Again, I will link these if anyone wants these in future if you're watching this video, but they're pretty cheap. I think for 12 of them for $60 is pretty awesome. And then, you know, I got 2 packs for full 24 across this entire basement. So well lit Lego basement. Wow, those are hard to look at. It's a lot brighter than the yellow light here over here. So that is pretty cool. Already a probably pretty big difference. Now per room, let's see if we can walk on up here. It might be easier to shine this down. I mean, this is gonna be a bright room. Maybe it doesn't show too well on camera, but my gosh, we have light. It feels good in here. So that's gonna be pretty exciting while we're streaming and stuff. Sorry for the saw over there. But essentially, man, that's gonna be so nice to have these cans, these bright lights in our recording studio, because that is gonna be where we record everything. And of course, I'm pretty committed to doing like floor to ceiling in display pieces, basically like the IKEA Billy shelves, probably stacking them all the way to the ceiling and having some grand, awesome Lego displays. It'll be a nice backdrop for when we record or even when we shoot videos. I'm really gonna like that. And I think 4 can lights was pretty adequate in lighting. I don't think we really need more. At worst case scenario, I'll add just a lighting kit on this side and on that side to kind of showcase towards whatever we're showing. So that's pretty exciting stuff. And then of course we have rows of can lights all the way down. But I'd also like to thank a few people in today's video because quite truthfully, we could not have gotten this far without any help. I'm gonna say my biggest thank you goes out to my Theo. Yes, the crazy Lego collector Theo. I mean, God, this is not standing here without him. He's been here every day that I've worked on it. He's been here, and it's only been weekends because that's kind of the only time I've been able to work on it. So thank you to my Theo John, my boy Enrique, and his dad Carlos and mom. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Wouldn't be possible helping us start electric, and probably gonna help me finish it too. It's been huge. My dad for lending me all the tools that I need, and of course my father-in-law for helping me frame as well over this last weekend. So huge special thank you to those guys, and of course thank you to you, the channel member, because this is all for the Lego channel, and I'm super excited for it because we have an entire basement that's gonna be dedicated to Lego, and it's come such a long way from where we began, right? Like, you guys seen me over the last, 3-4 years we've been doing YouTube, we've seen me like move my entire collection like 3-4 times, and we're finally building like our dream Lego room, and it's like gonna be this permanent location. Well, nothing's permanent, right? But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. Love you guys. Hope you have an amazing rest of the day. I'm Cristo from Stud City. Make sure to subscribe for another future update, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much, guys. Peace out.